Three people being carried out, like almost looking very, very lifeless, or they were looking limp. And I'd asked if the police officer was dead, and she said, the female police officer said she is not aware that he is dead.
Terrifying. I'm sorry that you witnessed that. Do you know other people in the area, or were you just eating lunch there?
Yes, all of our friends, we have a friend group where we always either have breakfast or dinner in the area. But I just want to say, for the family of that first person who ran out, he looked like he was running to make sure.
Some wild shit popping off right now in Manhattan. There's an active shooter. We talking with Nikisha Lewis right here. I'm hearing that the shooter has been neutralized. We're not sure yet. Sorry if that was fake news. My bad. But we over here covering it over there in the East Coast.
And extremely brave of you to reach out and try to help someone in a situation like that. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Ms. Lewis. We certainly appreciate it. And Gotti, as you can imagine, there's going to be many more stories like this that will come out. People who witness different things as police, and now we know federal officials as well, are trying to piece together the timeline of what happened and to try to figure out what exactly took place today, Gotti.
Yeah, when we see the worst of humanity, we often see the best of people, the best of New York right there in that interview, Stephen Romo. And just to recap, did she say she saw three people being pulled out or being carried out of that building? Because we're trying to nail down a little bit more about the victims. We know that an officer.
He just walked up there with that high piece of machinery.
She did say three, Gotti. That's something else that I noticed from speaking with other people as well, of trying to figure out who actually was injured or who was actually just trying to get away and weren't able to get away themselves and sort of may have collapsed or just panicked and didn't know what to do. So it's hard to nail down exactly what people saw versus what police are actually reporting as shooting victims. And as you know very well, the numbers in these situations can continue to fluctuate, but that is the number that she told us. And I'm sure that
I don't know if you moved them like that. The police look shook.
Similar things to try to piece that together as well.
And as we're talking about that, I believe that video that we're seeing, it does look like there is a contingent of police officers that were rushing in, and they were extracting somebody. They were pulling somebody out and carrying them to safety. What else are you hearing there on the scene? Are there a lot of people there that are trying to get information from their family that are still in that building?
There were around half an hour ago, but the situation the NYPD is saying is contained. So it seems like now most of the people that are here are spectators, or they saw something and they want to, in that situation, they want to see how this ends up. Other people are this is their neighborhood. This is where they work. This is the area they walk through every day. So they're curious about.
I don't think that's nobody's neighborhood, but that's definitely some government buildings and churches.
Buildings around, not the building on Park in particular, but other buildings nearby, people who were locked down. One woman was telling me that people in her office were barricading doors with any object that they can find to try to keep a shooter out. Everyone, or most everyone, is familiar now with what to do in an active shooter situation. That was the information that they had at the time, that there was an active shooter. So they thought, I need to
say it's self-inflicted.
Then they started getting more information, and finally they saw that news of this suspected shooter with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and they had some relief, and then they still waited for police officers to tell them it was okay to leave. But in that situation, speaking to people, they are just so shaken when they come out, and they're asking which streets are closed and if they're able to get a cab on this street. People trying to leave to get out of that situation. It seems like most of those people have been able to make their way out from what I can see, but there are still a lot of people here, a lot of very curious people here to know more about what happened.
Yeah, Stephen Romo, thank you so much for that. We'll be checking back with you in a little bit. I know Erin McLaughlin is probably a few blocks or pretty close to where you are right now. She's also been out there speaking to victims, or speaking to witnesses. Erin, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but from your vantage point, what's the latest from the scene?
Yeah, well, we are now hearing, Gotti, that occupants from some of the surrounding buildings near the scene of the shooting are being allowed to leave, are being allowed to go home. As you can see here, it's still pretty chaotic here in Midtown Manhattan. Just over that way is 345 Park Avenue, the building, the site of the shooting. A situation here still extremely intense. It's clear that the investigation is underway. You can just see the amount of police officers and firefighters and other units that were deployed. This was very much an all hands on deck response to this active shooting situation, a situation that is extremely unusual here for Midtown Manhattan. But as my colleague Stephen Romo pointed out, it is something that people do now have in the back of their minds. It was around 6 p.m. in the evening when all of this.
Oh, excuse me, dumb bitch. I just wanted to know, where is an active shooter ever normal somewhere? I don't know if you thought about that before. You said something like this happened Midtown Manhattan. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder how many Indians died there. Okay, let's not get too deep.
Still, it's a very chilling incident. We're still trying to understand how many casualties, how many people were shot. We understand that at least one civilian and at least one police officer were shot as a result of what happened here. We're getting harrowing stories from inside of 345 Park Avenue, including pictures of office workers doing everything they could to survive, taking desks, taking couches, taking chairs, creating a barricade to prevent the shooter from potentially entering their place of work. Just chilling details. I was speaking to one man who was here trying to listen to the police radio for updates as that manhunt was underway. He wanted news of his wife. He knew his wife worked on the 23rd floor of 345 Park Avenue. And he wanted to know if she was okay. And it was a very, very tense hour-long wait for that news. Finally, she was able to text him that she was fine. He could breathe a sigh of relief. They have now gone home, but it just gives you a sense of this disruption, of the terror that people felt here in Midtown Manhattan tonight, Gotti.
And in terms of some of those harrowing stories that you're hearing about from,
and he's got the don't mess with the Zohan Fro, high-powered military-grade firearm, the Uncle Daddy fleece,
stories, a place of work,
some joggers.
It's potentially, and it showed very clearly the chaos and the panic inside. In one still image, you can see chairs, tables, office furniture stacked up against the door, people grabbing anything they could in the event that the shooter entered, as I said, their place of work. Unclear if the shooter made it to that particular office. And we're waiting for more of those really chilling and harrowing details from authorities tonight. But it was very clear from that still image, just the sense of chaos and the sense of panic that people were feeling, not only in
those officers look highly undertrained.
That high rise.
And Aaron, we're hearing conflicting reports of how many people were injured. Again, the preliminary numbers that we heard was one police officer, one civilian. We just heard from a witness that said that they saw 3 people that were being brought out by bystanders and those that were rushing in to help. Have you heard any additional information when it comes to how many victims may have been shot here?
Yeah, well, what NBC has been able to confirm from law enforcement officials so far is at least one civilian and at least one police officer were shot as a result of this incident. That officer is believed to be in grave condition. The New York Mayor, Eric Adams, in his update tonight saying that multiple
Put it up once it comes in. We have it now.
Yeah,
okay, so
our control room is in the process. In fairness to them, I just sent it to them, so they're going to have it's going to take them a second to bring it up as fast as they are. But the photo very clearly depicts an individual armed with a long gun, alluding to what I was talking to you about just a few moments ago. You're looking
this
at
is the
it
photo
right
here.
Yeah, so this was captured from a surveillance camera, and the NYPD is looking for this individual, possibly in connection with this active shooting.
Yeah, look at him just walking. He's just walking. Look at those 2 guys in the back just walking. Broad daylight walking.
Incident. I don't think I need
America, tighten up. Tighten up, New York. Ain't 9/11 happening in fucking Manhattan. What the fuck?
need to do a lot of description here. He's depicted as holding what is clearly a long gun there, believed to be an assault rifle. He's got it in his right hand. unclear to me. If you look at his shirt, he's got this light blue shirt here. See how it appears to be a little puffed out in front, Tom? There was
It's untucked too.
Yeah, and untucked. So there was some question as to whether or not this individual had some sort of a bulletproof vest. It's not clear at all to us, at least initially here. Perhaps it is to the police department, who specifically this individual is, what their background is, what their history is. That'll all be part of the investigation, but they are awfully fast.
The ill aviators and the Afghan 10 AR.
Yeah.
And I can tell you they're headed down a track on this right now. All be part of the investigation, but they are awfully fast. And I can tell you they're headed down a track on this right now.
Jim, you're a former ATF agent. I want you to walk our viewers through the weapon that we're looking at right here, and specifically two things: what we see on the muzzle there, and also the type of ammo that we're seeing, the jacket, if you will, on this weapon here. Talk to our viewers what you're noticing.
Yeah, it's a military-style rifle. It looks to be, it's hard to see because its clothes are dark. I'm trying to get an outline of the receiver there. It may be an AR-15 variant. It looks like about a 30-round magazine sticking out of the back, and he's got a muzzle brake, or it could be a silencer or a suppressor, as we call them, wrapped in some kind of gauze or tape. Looks like you might have a strap with the weapon as well. There's some kind of a
with a
strap hanging
flip
down there, but clearly, I mean, that's a 30-round magazine he's got. He's got plenty of ammo to shoot there, and he's taken some pains to create some kind of a device for himself. It looks to be, it's hard because his leg is right. The black pants right behind the weapon, but
and then
military style weapon, high velocity, rapid fire, certainly at least semi-automatic at the very least. The rapid fire could also be fully automatic. But,
and then Jim, you have a man, he's wearing sunglasses. He's got the rifle, the assault rifle, right by his side, and he appears to casually be strolling in. What does this tell you about his motives and what he wants to do?
Hella casual. Guess that's how you do it. Walk him down.
Or what he thinks.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's the thing to notice, Tom. The stroll. I mean, he's definitely on his mission. He's ready to go. Look at how he's striding in there. He wants to do this. He's ready to go. He's got his weapon, his sunglasses.
He definitely. I want to know what his playlist was like when he got up that morning, because this is bonkers. You heard? I need to know what your playlist was, bro.
And he's walking briskly toward his target. What is the reason for that? We don't know. Is he, like I said before, he could be an insider, somebody done him wrong. This could be revenge. He wants to get somebody in there. We don't know. Or it could be a complete stranger attack. It's just too hard to tell.
Yeah.
Definitely ain't no complete stranger attack
at the moment, but certainly the little things we can glean. It looks like he has a pair of running shoes or sneakers on. Just a jacket. That's not necessarily a suit coat, but just a blue jacket, some black trousers or jeans maybe, and that rifle, which he's got down by his side. When a person holds a rifle low like that, they're not right at the place they want to shoot. In other words, he's.
Oh yeah. You think when you hold down a rifle like that, you ain't trying to. What the? You people be needing better shit to say. They need me up in there. You feel me? Sugar dig? Fuck is you talking about? No neck head.
He's trying to make an egress into where he wants to shoot. If he was right where he wanted to shoot, he'd have his other hand under the stock of the weapon. He'd be advancing like you see the SRT officers advance or SWAT officers advance. But no, he's not at the place yet.
We know that, Thomas.
How this basically went down, I'm told, is that it came out over the radio that an officer, there's some sort of an engagement here that occurs, obviously. And then at that point, police immediately identified the severity of the situation and called for SRG units, which is the NYPD Strategic Response Group. That group was stood up after a number of terror incidents in Europe under Bill Bratton's command. And basically, what the idea of that unit was that there would always be police officers on the street conducting police work that had the heavy weapons, the NYPD's assault rifles, in the truck, in the car, ready to go as soon as there was a reported active shooter. And that's what happened here tonight. In the training, and I've been out with the training.
That's good. They got that. I know they definitely got that out there in London. They got the police that got nothing, and then they got those couple ones with those big ass yappas on them in public just standing there. It does reduce crime.
With this team on several occasions.
And also reduces officer-related shootings. But yeah, I'm glad this dude is down. We don't need no wild shooter out here shooting random innocent people and all that. If they innocent and all that, you know what I'm saying? My condolences to the innocents. You feel me? But yeah, I just had to cover that. I just saw that. I was like, yo, what is going on in the world, son? Shit is wild, man. So on that, I'm leave y'all with something sweet while we close out. I be hitting y'all. I be stressing y'all out, man. I know I do.
Lights off, I look at them to touch you and fuck you, make love to.